All right. Out of all the Olympic sports, if I was to compete in one, what do you think I'd do the best in? Like, obviously, I'm terrible in everything. But what one would I be?
I reckon you could get pretty good at shooting. Steady hands, good hand-eye coordination.
Okay. That's good chat. All right, shall we do it?
Should.
We're back again for episode 10.
Yes, we are.
Skip the Beat podcast loosely based on music.
Brilliant.
Again, 10, see what I did?
I saw what you
That
did.
took about 6.5 seconds of thinking.
Saw what you did. It's always funnier when you have to explain it too. It's good. It's good to be here.
Many things I do. How are you? My name's Matt, by the way. You are listening to a podcast loosely based on music. We talk some things about music, talk about our lives in general and things that are happening around us. Joined every week by the other half of the podcast, Katie.
Hello, good to be here. I just noticed that we were trying to think of fancy things we could do for episode 10. I just realised we've inadvertently both worn mustard yellow shoes for episode 10. And that excites me greatly.
Does it really?
It does, because it's my favourite colour. I mean, aside from pink, mustard yellow. I've got a pair of corduroy mustard yellow Birkenstocks on, and Matthew's got a lovely pair of yellow Chuck Converse All-Stars on.
I really liked... Obviously, I liked them because I bought them.
Yes.
But these were ones that I thought, obviously, no one likes them because they were from an online store. Can't remember where. $25.
Giddy up, I'd get on that.
Yeah, $25 for a pair of Connies.
Yeah, I'd
I would
get
have
on
bought them
that
if they were
train.
$40.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Beautiful. So I'm pretty excited for that for episode 10.
That's great.
I think
if that's...
That's done it for me. That's a big effort that we've accidentally made, and I like it.
So thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week for episode 11, where we'll probably... Should we somehow match T-shirts or something?
I'll still be wearing these shoes because I wear them every week,
Okay.
but it's just that you've just happened to match me
I
tonight.
reckon you've got a 90% chance that you could come next week in the same coloured shirt that I'll be wearing next week.
Yeah.
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 To every 10 shirts I have, 9 of them are black.
This might be the first time I haven't worn a black T-shirt while we've been recording. Who knows?
Now, how's your week been? What's been happening?
Well, look, to be honest, I've had a bit of a dumpster fire of a week and topped off today by crashing my car.
You didn't tell me this when you walked in the door.
Just thought I'd spring that one on you. As I was leaving Pilates today, I didn't crash into another car. I had an altercation with a concrete pylon in a car park, and I've absolutely munted 2 full panels on the back side of my car. So I'm not happy about it in the slightest. Entirely my fault, but yeah.
Two things. Number one, I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, brutal. I guess a third thing is, I don't want to make this about me at all. This is about us and just our friendship, is I've done the exact same thing. Do you remember when I had the dirty bandwagon and I wrapped it around that black pole at the shopping centre and every panel on one side of the car was just absolutely wrecked?
And were you like parked next to it and you just took the corner too tight? Is that how you did it?
Yeah, then when it started, I thought, oh, this won't be bad. And I couldn't even open the door.
Yeah. Well, I was in a bit of a hurry. I was going around and there was other cars coming and I heard it happening and I just accelerated through it, drove around and thought...
Then you stopped?
No, I got out of the car park. I got out of the car park. I was like, I can't stop. This is too embarrassing.
So
I'm just going to pretend that didn't happen.
When did you stop? Mid-drive, like as soon as you got out? Or did you
I
not
got
look
out of the
behind?
car park, drove sort of around the corner where there was a few spots on the side of the road I could pull over, hopped out, had a bit of a cry, hopped back in and thought, this week needs to get right in the bin.
Well, yeah. Okay. Far out. Enough that it'll be like you'll need like proper panel replacements?
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
All right. So
We'll
I'm going to
see.
say it because
I'll
it's
let
still
you know.
raw, but we'll need to get a photo of it unless
Yeah.
you've already got photos of it.
I do, but they're not good. I'll take them in the light of day.
And then
Yeah.
I'll dish out the photo of the bandwagon and
Yeah.
just show you that's, and just, you and I both have done it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brutal.
Just what a rubbish thing to happen tonight after my Pilates class.
Oh, dude. You
Anyway,
come out
how-
of there nice and relaxed.
I did. Yeah, I've just undone all of that within 5
Mate.
minutes of getting in my car.
BYD.
Ah, yeah, not good. How's your week been?
Oh.
Mildly better than that?
Slightly.
5 or 6% better?
I haven't wrapped my car around a pole. I forgot to mention this right at the very start. We normally do the whole apology thing that I'm getting a little bit like, we don't really need to apologise.
Yeah,
'cause we're
yeah,
just
yeah.
us.
Yeah,
but
we are.
I thought we missed something last week. Last week
what
we
did we
spoke
miss?
about our favourite gigs at the zoo. Mm-hmm. And both of us missed one that would be up there. We
Oh,
saw
true.
Kate Miller-Heike's Little Eve tour at the zoo.
Yes,
And it was phenomenal.
it was. Right
I think
at
that
the
was the
start.
first time. I can't remember if that was my first time seeing Kate or whether my first time seeing Kate was at the Powerhouse. Now, I'm going to just pick your brain a little bit from memories because you're really good at remembering
I'm really good
things.
at remembering stuff. Yeah.
The first time I saw Kate Miller-Heike was the night where you, myself, Rosa was there. We had dinner somewhere in the kind of valley. I have a feeling we saw it. We were going to the Powerhouse.
No, we were going to the Tivoli.
We're going to the Tivoli.
That night?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so that.
Yeah.
So thank you. Do you have a good memory?
I did remember that night very
So
well.
that was the night that you and Rosa said, we've got this mutual friend called Jen,
Yes.
who I think at some point you're going to meet.
Yes.
And look, the rest is history.
Yeah.
I did meet her. So yeah, that was the first night I saw Kate Miller-Heike. So that would have been
Yes.
2007. So that probably would have been before Little Eve.
It would have been, but then why was she doing the Little Eve show at a smaller venue?
Unless that was Little Eve and we saw a different tour at the zoo.
No, it was definitely Little Eve at the zoo. I don't know.
We might have to do some research. Anyway,
Couldn't
we've
place
seen her
that.
multiple times.
Yeah, first time I saw her was at Woodford Folk Festival. Yeah, back in the day. Couldn't tell you what year. Long time ago.
Look where
Yeah.
she's come now.
Unbelievable.
So yes, we missed that. So sorry, Kate. Skippy Kate. She does listen to the podcast, and we apologise for missing that gig.
It was a great
It
gig
is
at
one
the
of our
zoo.
favourite gigs at the zoo for
Yeah.
sure. So yeah, little kind of an apology, but yes,
Just a little skipped moment.
Yeah.
I wondered if you were going to apologise to me for breaking my heart and in music pun of the week and lying to me and telling me Willie Nelson had died. But you're not. No need. Not gonna.
definitely
No.
no apology needed. It was a pun of the week.
I said to Matthew as we were editing last week's episode, when I was just looking at his face on the video as we were editing, in hindsight, after I had just experienced the moment, I could see just the absolute utter glee in his face as he was preparing to drop that on me. And yeah, I'm happy that he got that moment. Yeah.
Now
very
am I doing
happy.
it again tonight? Am I going
Well,
to pull
this is-
something?
This is it. This is the terror that now engulfs me.
I've got to be honest, when we do get to it, I actually have two. I still haven't decided which one I want to tell.
Okay.
So,
Well, this could
look,
be it right now. I just don't
You
even
just
know.
don't know. It's come out of nowhere. Bang!
No.
Music pun of the week. No.
Matt's let me do the whiteboard tonight, but I'm not sure if he's going to honour my choices or not. So time will tell.
No, we got a lot to get through. So
We do.
Gotta,
We better keep
push on.
cracking.
Now, before the brutal moment of you crashing your car, wrapping it around a pole or a pylon, we had a weekend camping.
We did. We went camping, the whole Green family in their camper van, and
Must be nice.
I was in my Aldi tent. I was rocking that, and some other friends of ours, a few
Quite-
other kids around.
Quite a
and-
fan of Aldi now, aren't you?
No, not at all. But that tent refuses to die. So
Little
I'm still
side
in
note,
it.
looked through the brochure a little bit earlier tonight and said to Jen, of course I can go to Aldi and buy a ham. Of course I could go there, and the special next week's a welding helmet. Of course I can buy a welding helmet from Aldi. I love it. I do. I really do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were there in your Aldi tent.
Yeah. And yeah, we went camping in the
was-
middle of winter.
Quite cold the first night.
It was cold.
First morning we woke up.
Cold to quite cold, but still very, very bearable.
The daytime was
think.
great, and the second
Yeah.
night nowhere near as cold.
No,
Far more
magical.
comfortable. And we
Yeah.
both shared just earlier tonight our combined hatred for when you come home from camping and you've just got to clean everything because everything smells like smoke.
Yeah.
Like our house was how many did you do as a a single person in your home too?
I only did
loads of
two
washing?
loads of laundry, but normally I would only need to do one. I had some pre-existing there, so that's why I had to do two.
There's 8 here. 8.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
wild.
just all the doonas, all the sheets, everything. But we have a really good camping system. So now everything's back. Next time we go camping, all I need is about an hour.
Yep.
Just to plan things, and out the door we go. The sheets on the bed in the camper are changed, ready to go. All the washing will be folded back into its boxes and everything like that. So it's just done.
So your post-camping is a bit of a nightmare, but it means your pre-camping routines pretty much you can get out the door.
Yes.
Yeah. Mine's about probably equal.
Okay.
Both pretty quick though. It's just me. Chuck it all in the boot. Off we go.
Off we go.
Pretty simple setup.
So yeah, we had a great camping. Murphy's Creek Escape. If anyone is around the southeast Queensland region, it's lovely. It's just down the bottom, kind of at the bottom of Toowoomba, around close to Spring Bluff. So yeah, it's a great campsite, amazing views. You did a walking track.
Yeah, there's a mountain biking track there. I took the dog for a walk around that little single track. It was
Some
really
amazing
lovely.
views from what I've seen.
Yeah.
If your kids love trains, or if you as an adult love trains, you get to hear the diesels go past. It's on the main line from out
Or the
west to
Serenity.
Brisbane. Yeah. So if you're a train enthusiast, it's got a beautiful place to check out. So yeah, we went camping. Anything else you've been up to apart from that prior to you having camping and then starting the
crashing
worst
my
week?
car. Yeah, just having a bit of a dumpster fire week
Nothing
this week, but
music related. Nothing.
nothing music related, which is disappointing because I've had a bit of spare time. So I really need to start looking at how on earth I'm gonna start joining you in the world of doing something creative with my life. Not there just yet.
The flute is just sitting there going, "Look at me, look at me,
Look,
look at
we've
me.
gathered dust again.
Touch me, touch me."
I've done no more poetry. I haven't listened to anything, haven't looked at my script, haven't looked at a venue, haven't done a thing. So yeah,
It's all waiting.
there's a chance I've become a bit too obsessed with being a roadie. I might have to be really careful that I don't
Shit.
split myself there too much. I gotta
4 gigs a year. Jeez.
That's right. I gotta
Steady on.
Gotta remember my own dreams in the midst of all of this roadie madness.
Well, on the music front this side, not much has happened either in terms of like new exciting news. I mentioned last week we got a Perth date. We got some little private pre-sales on for anyone who might be listening from Perth, all the Skippy Perth listeners we've got out there, all none of you. Hit me up if you'd like some tickets. Otherwise, yeah, we're getting close to Brisbane. So Brisbane's only, I think, 4 weeks away this Saturday. So
Sounds
24th
right.
of August. So yeah, we've been working really hard. We've just now working through whether there's going to be a single that is released prior to that particular gig, or by then we'll worst case scenarios we'll have a date to be like, thanks for coming. Now we've got the single scheduled for release on this date, and we were pretty cluey with how, not to toot our own horn, but we didn't call the tour the single. We called it just a line from one of the songs, so that
Yep.
there was no
No pressure.
tie down, because we're doing
Yeah.
across a couple of months. So,
Yeah.
but yes, getting closer to having a single ready. To
I
release.
had a listen. Matt sent me through a couple of SoundCloud links yesterday, and I very near final mixes. I thought they might be final mixes, but I hear they might still be getting a bit of a tweak. But
just a little bit of production. We met with people on our team a little bit today. The manager consult we're working with, and just the overall feedback was it's really good. Here's just a little bit of from industry experience and the years I've been doing this, where we can, if you really want to, if you want to get it to, in my opinion, that next level again.
Yeah.
Don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just
a couple of little
just
tweaks.
a couple of little things. There might be one little melody and lyric change in just one line.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully it's and we kind of agree, which is, well, we don't kind of agree. We do agree with everything she said, and that's why I guess you have people that are completely on the outside.
Yeah, because my notes were no changes at all. I loved them both,
Locked
and
it
I think
in.
it's the best stuff that you guys have ever done. So
Very kind.
super excited for people to hear it. It's very, very cool.
Very, very kind.
Yeah. Something exciting's coming up in the world really soon. This episode's going to drop
One
on
day before.
Thursday. Yep.
Yeah.
And on Friday, Paris 2024.
Well, it's going to be kind of Saturday morning for us, isn't
Well,
it? I
yeah.
think? Yeah.
Friday night Europe. Yeah.
Now, we both love the Olympics. We
We
love
do.
watching sport.
And we do know this podcast has become loosely based on music, chickens and sport.
Now,
so
and probably for the next probably the next 4 episodes, we're going to get quite a bit of
we might be a
Olympic
podcast
chat.
loosely based on the Olympics. Just for a little minute, just for a little sniff of
We
time.
could be the 2000 Roy and HQ.
HG or HQ?
HQ. Roy and HQ. Cool, perfect.
We could be. We could be.
We just rebrand for 4 weeks.
Yeah. You're
For
a
the
branding
Olympics and
person.
Paralympics. Just do it.
I'll still rock up just exactly the same as I always was, but you can tweak something there.
Okay.
So we're excited about the Olympics,
Yes.
and we thought we'd take just a sniff of a time right now, just to think, just so that we can be somewhat music related still. I want you to tell me what your favourite music related memory from the Olympics is in your lifetime.
In just any time, any Olympics.
Any Olympics
Because
that you can
the pressure comes
recall.
straight on for Sydney, obviously, because that's
Okay.
the homegrown advantage.
yeah.
And there was some really good
A lot of
moments
Aussie
there, like,
icons in that opening
Farnham,
ceremony.
Olivia Newton-John, even like back when like Vanessa Amorossi was huge.
I think Vanessa Amorossi did the actual theme song, didn't she, for Sydney? I'm pretty sure she
think
did.
so. Tina Arena did something too as well.
Yeah, I
called
think she
The
sang
Flame
somewhere.
or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flame. There, look at that memory coming back out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Tina Arena, what a voice. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the big thing of that was the Kathy Freeman lighting
the flame.
the flame. Just, yeah. As for music moments, you kind of put me on the spot. There is one. Growing up, I was a massive fan of Mr. Bean.
Okay, yeah.
And so going back to the 2012 Olympics, I
Yes.
loved how they had the orchestra. I'm assuming it was the London Philharmonic Orchestra. But they did Chariots of Fire. And if you remember it,
I don't know that I do remember
you
this.
don't know this.
No.
So they do this big intro and then it goes to the dun 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 dun. And you just see the keyboard player doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Obviously it's, as soon as they start zooming out, and it's Rowan Atkinson.
Playing
there.
it.
And he does he does his whole Mr. Bean act of, he's boring and he's just like, what's this guy? And then the piano player comes in with the dum dum and he's like, ooh, that's not special. And just does this kind of dream. He kind of falls asleep and dream, and you see the video sequence of him on the set of Chariots of Fire where they're running down the beach, and then he's there and he's running and he beats them and whatnot.
I must
You
not
need
have
to watch
watched
it.
this.
It's really
Amazing.
good. Chariots
Yeah.
of Fire is such a great song.
Great composition.
And,
beautiful.
That was just, I remember watching that going, well done.
Yeah.
Well done, London. You have done very, very well there in bringing that icon into the opening ceremony.
Yeah,
the way you
yeah.
did. So, yeah, I'm going to use that as my memory.
Yeah, amazing. Mine is my first ever memory of music being a thing in the Olympics. I always knew there was an opening ceremony, but my first memory, and you're probably just a tiny bit young because it's from Barcelona 1992,
True.
Amigas para siempre. So a song that is not in English. Do you recall this song at all?
If I would have to hear it.
I think
But yeah,
you would know it if you
1992,
heard
I was,
it. You were just a little one, just
I was
6.
I was about 6, so what were
Yeah.
you, about 18?
I was 1992. I was in grade 7.
Okay.
And yeah, so it wasn't in English, but the song just went absolutely nuts around the world, and we all knew it, and we were singing along in like Spanish, I imagine the song was written in. And yeah, I remember that so clearly, and it just became this iconic song, and it charted.
I would have to.
around
I
the
mean, I'm sure if
world.
I heard it, I would have heard it before. But
Yeah.
I don't know it off the top of my head. I can't tell you I wouldn't even know anything about it.
Yeah. And then
1992.
Yeah, 92 Barcelona, and then Atlanta for some reason is really strong in my memory as well, 96, because it was Celine did The Power of the Dream and Gloria Estefan the song Reach. I remember those so
remember
clearly.
that. I remember
If I
Celine.
could reach higher. Gloria Estefan. Oh, such a good
okay.
song. Banger. Inspiring stuff. And they used to do all the montages behind it. And yeah, so my memories are quite old. I don't recall in recent years there being like big singles that have grabbed my attention from the game. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Paris is going to dish up, who they're going to pull out on Friday night their time, early hours of Saturday morning for us, and see what sort of content we're going to get. But very excited. Some sleepless nights ahead, I'm sure.
I've put a rule in our house with the kids. I've kind of been building up saying, right, we try and put limits on technology anyway, but kind of once sort of homework's done or reading's done, you've had your shower and everything, there might be, well, it's not really all the time kids shows because my son is going through this phase where he's loving The Chase at the moment.
Brilliant.
And it's like, of course you are. Of course your brain is wanting to get involved with that.
Yeah.
But I've put the rule in that for the 2 weeks or the 4 weeks really with the Paralympics, yes, the TV's going to be on a lot more than what it usually is, but it's going to be on the Olympics.
Yep.
And we're just going to get...
And we're just going to love it as a family.
We absolutely are. So yeah,
You're
it
going to be
starts Saturday
forced
morning.
to love it.
Really quick, because we've still got a bunch of stuff to get to. Really quick, the most iconic sporting Olympic moment ever for you. Is there a number one?
Oh, gosh.
Because there is for me. While you think, mine
Yeah.
is just it's a lot. It's probably a lot of Australians. It's the 2000 Kathy Freeman 400 run.
Yeah.
That to me, I remember watching it and just thinking, amazed. She's in the full body kit. Bruce McAvaney is calling it. Like, you couldn't get anything better. And just, she smokes it. Just, she wins gold. Just, you see a breakdown on the side, like, kind of just like, can't even fathom what's happened.
Yeah.
Then it hits her, the medal ceremony, just, it's the top. Done. Kathy Freeman, 400 metre gold.
Yeah, never has an athlete had quite so much pressure to perform as she did in that race.
Also, when she qualified, just stepping back, if you watch the qualifying race like 2 years prior or whatever it was, obviously not qualifying 2 years prior. But
would have been the Commonwealth Games, would have been 2 years
because
prior.
it obviously wasn't anything official.
Okay.
Because they started her late. They gave all the other runners.
Oh, it would have been one of the stall gift races that she won.
Maybe.
One of the big
but
stall
yeah,
gifts.
she just
It's
just came from behind and absolutely smoked them.
Yeah, because they did it with a handicap
And you're like,
system.
how on earth is she going to win this? Like, the person that's ahead of her is like 100 metres ahead.
Yeah.
And so she does 400 to their 3.
Yeah, it was the stall gift. It was
Get
amazing.
out of town.
She's had a couple of amazing runs in the stall gift.
So yeah, that's iconic. That's mine.
Yeah, very cool. Mine's, I don't know, mine's not iconic in that sense, but just, yeah, my favourite memory was because I was a diehard hockey player when I was in high school. So when the Hockey Roos won the 1996 gold medal in Atlanta, that was huge for me. They were, again, just such a dominant team through the 90s, just undefeated for so long. And they had a goal scored against them in that final. I remember they only won at 3-1, and I thought that they, something was going to go horribly wrong. And so I remember it, as well as being a great memory, just relieved. Oh, thank goodness they've won. That was, and I knew some people that were playing in that team, and so it was very, very cool. That's probably my favourite memory.
96 Hockey Roos. How are they going to go this year?
No, they won't medal, I don't reckon.
You don't. That's a big.
The
early
Kookaburras
call.
might, but I don't think the Hockey Roos will.
Okay.
They're in a bit of a rebuild phase, I reckon. We'll see. I hope they prove me wrong.
Okay.
Certainly hope they do.
We could really have a whole. I just want to keep talking, but we'll move on. There's so
I
many
know,
things.
we're gonna have
there's
to-
rugby sevens. There's just there's the swimming. Then you think, oh, the swimming's over. I'm so sad. Then the track and field starts.
We've
there's
got
just
Jessica
so much.
Hull in the track and field is going to do amazing.
Jessica Fox,
Jessica
day
Fox,
one. There's that whole thing. She's going to get the opening ceremony. She's going to be a flag bearer. That's why she's going to it. But yeah, she's on day one of the comp.
It's exciting.
So
much. Are the Matildas going to pull something out of the bag without Sam Kerr? We'll see. Will
they?
Watch this space, everybody. All your Olympics news on Skip the Beat, a podcast loosely based on music.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, we got a bit of feedback, actually, positive feedback, which is nice for a change. We did a music quiz.
Yeah.
And now you have got one for me, and I'm terribly petrified that I'm going to get nothing right.
No, I think I've made mine a little bit kinder to you in terms of, like, some of mine are more sort of multiple choice type questions.
okay.
So you'll have some options to choose from some of them. And what I was trying to do in my music quiz was to make it somewhat 10 based to celebrate our 10th episode. So some of the questions are loosely based around that idea. Pretty snappy. Like there's not a lot here. So let's just see how we go, okay? This is just a lot of this from Wiki, so there might be some fact check next week. We'll see how we go. But I think I'm pretty
No need to apologise.
I think I'm
for
pretty
anything.
locked in here. So here I go. I'm going to give you 4 artists, and I want you to tell me which one of them they've all won 10 Grammys, except one of them has not won 10 Grammys.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you 4 artists. You've got
Yep.
to tell me which one hasn't won 10.
Jeez.
Okay. So we've got Brandi Carlile, Mary J. Blige, Dolly Parton, and Joni Mitchell. Which one of those has not won 10 Grammys?
I would be very surprised and shocked if Joni hasn't. So there's Joni.
Dolly Parton?
Yeah, she's won 10 surely. Mary J. Blige, was it?
Yep. And Brandy Carlisle.
Oh. I don't know. I'm going to have to take a stab in the dark. I'm going to say... Was it a trick question? I'm going to say Mary J. Blige hasn't won 10.
Well done. Well done. She's only won 9.
Only. What a failure. What an absolute failure. Have
and
a
the
hard
other
look at
three
your
have won
life,
10.
Mary.
Yeah. I thought that Joni Mitchell might have won more, but then I remember when she came and performed at the Grammys this year, they did talk about she did get snubbed quite a bit early in her career for Grammys, but she still has won 10.
I would be shocked I would have been shocked if it was. Yeah. Okay, good.
Well done. 1 from 1. You're doing significantly better than I was at this stage of my quiz.
Early days. I've jumped the gate.
Okay, next question. Boys to Men was the first act to release a single that sat at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for more than 10 weeks. So prior to them, no one had sat at number 1 for more than 10 weeks. I want you to tell me what the song was.
In what year?
That's another question. I can give you some more information if you think. So the 3 parts of the question are, what was the song, and then what was the year and month it was released?
Man, I see. I'm not a massive Boys to Men fan, so this is going to be...
You might be pretty young when this happened. It was pretty iconic, though, at the time.
I can't even think of a Boys to Men song.
Okay.
The only Boys... Oh, I don't even know if it's Boys to Men. I know that it's one of those things when I hear the song.
Yeah,
of course
obviously
it's Boyz
you
II
can
Men.
tell. Yeah.
The only song that I've got in my head right now, and I don't even know, this could be embarrassing. It's not even going to be a Boys to Men song, but is that one that goes, no matter what they tell you? Boys to Men?
No, I think that's Ronan Keating, isn't it?
Or what band was he in?
New Life? Is that Ronan
Westlife?
Keating? Westlife? New Life. That's a church. Okay, I'll give you
Okay, give me some clues.
So I'll give you I guess I knew this one pretty strongly, but I forget you're a little bit younger than me. So what clue would you like? Would you like the name of the song, and you can take a stab at the year?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yep, so name of the song. So End of the Road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the year
Everyone
of
had
that.
it for their primary school graduation song, if that helps you at all.
So it would have been a couple of years up. So it's early 90s.
Yep. Take a stab.
93.
Oh, very close. 92.
Okay.
Do you want to have a stab at the month?
If you're having it at your graduation, it would have been out. You would have known the song August.
Oh, almost. October.
Okay.
October 92. It was my grade 7 graduation song. Jindalee,
put that together.
Jindalee
You hinted
State
with your
School.
1992.
I did. Down at the Jindalee Bowls Club, we
Jindalee
played that
Bowls.
as we all graduated. And so many of my friends in high school all had the same thing happen. So that song, the first song ever on the Billboard Hot 100 that
weeks.
charted for more than 10 weeks. So it was 13 weeks it stayed at number 1. Yeah, there's been longer ones since, but that was the first. Okay, here's another multiple choice for you. Which one? So I'm going to give you 4 artists, combination of men and women, solo artists, all of them. And they have all had more than 10 number 1 singles, except one of these artists has not had more than 10.
Oh, okay.
So number 1 singles we're looking at here. So we've got Rihanna, Stevie Wonder, Drake, and Madonna.
Okay.
So 3 of them have had more than 10.
It's a process of elimination. I would be shocked. Madonna's surely had more than 10. I don't know a lot of Drake. Who is Rihanna?
Yep.
And Stevie Wonder.
Yep.
Surely Stevie Wonder's had more than 10 number 1 hits. I'm just trying to rattle through what the hits were. Rihanna's surely done it as well. Drake.
Okay. That was a tough one because Drake has had 13.
Okay.
Well, Stevie Wonder's only had 10. So the rest have had more than 10.
Okay.
Yep. So Rihanna's had 14. Drake's had 13, Madonna's had 12.
Okay, great question.
Okay, here we go. Only one of these bands, so we're on to bands now of solo artists, only one of these bands has had more than 10 number one singles. So which band has had more than 10? We've got the Bee Gees, the Rolling Stones, the Supremes, and Wings.
Okay.
Only one of those bands has had more than 10.
Only one. So the
Only
Bee
one.
Gees,
You got to
the
pick
Rolling
the one.
Stones,
Yep. The Supremes.
the Supremes,
And
or
Wings.
Well, the answer straight up that comes straight to mind everyone would probably guess the Rolling Stones because they've been playing for 77 years. But I feel that's too obvious.
Follow your instincts there then. I'll give you that as a hint.
Ooh, a little hint. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Follow your initial instinct. No, you're it's not the Rolling Stones.
Okay, cool.
So you've
I've got
done
one
well.
in three now.
Yep, you got a 1 in 3.
I would be extremely, extremely surprised if it was the Supremes. So I'm narrowing it down for a 50-50 call here. Mm-hmm. And I want to back the Aussies. I'm going to say the Bee Gees.
Ooh, you should not have ruled out the Supremes.
It was them.
It was the Supremes.
More than 10.
They've had 12. 12 number one hits. The Bee Gees had only 9. The Rolling Stones had 8 and Wings had 6. So the Supremes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to take a stab in the dark? Because I couldn't include this band in any of the stats because it then is too obvious. Who's had the most number one hits?
Just the band? Which band? Mm-hmm. Well, is it the Beatles?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Very closely, you'll be surprised by this one probably. The Beatles have had 20 number one hits. Mariah Carey, second place with 19.
19.
And they're just light years above.
Did you have a... Well, I wonder where Elton sits in that for number one hits. He'd have to be up there.
I think I took a screenshot. He featured in some of the stats. I think he featured in a lot of like those... he had a song that charted for 30 years in a row or something. Yeah. Like that. That's the sort of stats that you got with someone like Elton.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Weeks at number 1, 34, Elton John. Like that's his combined weeks at number 1, which is pretty great. But Mariah Carey beats everyone, 93 weeks.
Unbelievable.
Second place, Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've got one final question in your music quiz. I want you to tell me, and this has nothing to do with number 10, which artist has won the most ever Grammys? It happened quite recently. So if you think about it, you might recall within the last few years in my memory. So it's a current artist because it happened just in the last few years.
Is it Beyonce?
It is. Well done. Any idea how many you think she's won?
I do remember reading this.
It's astronomical.
Yeah. 27.
32.
Okay.
Incredible. That's Music Quiz of the Week. Well done. You did very well.
Thank you.
You did
I
incredibly
did
well.
averagely.
No, you did very well.
Now I'm up to the board. I'm reading that right, aren't I?
You are. Let's go.
From the pouch. Now you said you had a from the pouch, but I've also got one, and I think it's probably going to fit just with some of the artists and bands that you've just had in that.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to bypass mine for now. So let's go.
Put it on hold?
I'll let you pull yours from the pouch this week.
So my from the pouch was. I feel like I need to say it's we're remembering the time, even though it's not called that anymore.
Uh-huh.
But remember that time we went to see Paul McCartney with Ellis Green.
I do.
You, me, your sister Anna, and my dad, Ellis. We couldn't afford the $850.
Was Nicole there too?
No, I don't think Nicole was there.
Not at Paul McCartney? Okay.
And he was playing at Suncorp Stadium. We didn't have the $850,000 to buy a ticket for the back row. So I was very fortunate where I used to work at the old LeBlanc Theatre, which is opposite Suncorp. It used to be an awesome theatre. It's now an office space. And if you were lucky, you could sit across the road in the car park and hear. Now, he was a little quiet because he's not like the Foo Fighters playing it.
Yeah, we saw a few gigs there you could hear quite clearly.
So
Paul McCartney was a little bit quieter.
But my dad just said sort of in the lead up, he goes, oh, look, he loves the Beatles, one of his favourite bands. He was very fortunate to see them in '64. He saw them at Festival Hall.
Yeah.
He still kicks himself to this day when he walked out and threw his ticket stub in the
gutter. Yeah.
But he saw the Beatles. He said, yes, it was a little hard to hear back then because I think they opened with A Hard Day's Night and then that strum and then just the screaming.
You just couldn't
and then
hear
you
a
just saw
thing.
people get carried out and stuff, like women fainting.
Yeah.
Like insane.
Absolutely iconic to have seen that show.
Yeah, unbelievable. So, yeah, he was there. He was in the room. So he was like, I'd like to just come and, if that's all right, and just, build the average age up by a couple of years. I was like, sure, come along. But the thing that jumped out to all of us that night was the stories my dad had through his career. My dad worked as a travel agent, and over that time with just different events and places he'd gone, that just the people he'd met, like different celebrities or well-known people.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to rattle a couple of them off that I remember.
And this
one
is
of
all,
them is,
I'd never heard any of these in my life, and we heard them literally all in one night throughout the course of this Paul McCartney
and there was
concert.
one or two that I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't know if I've heard that.
Yeah.
So one of them was when he was overseas. He was probably from Me to You away from Princess Diana.
Yeah.
They came down in the lift and she came out on the red carpet and everything. He's like, I was close enough that I could have reached, if I wanted to, I would have got in trouble, but I could have reached out and literally touched her shoulder. She was right there.
Yeah.
How he had a dinner function with Richard Branson.
Yes.
How he was sitting next to, at another dinner or lunch function, with Geoffrey Hughes, who played Onslow in Keeping Up Appearances. And the one that I think that got us, it was the tip of the iceberg, particularly because we're big fans of their music, was he just sat there and said, we were talking about the Bee Gees and how much Anna loves them. We love them, but your sister Anna is
I don't even know why we were talking about them.
Fan.
Did Paul McCartney tell a story about them? He must have told a story about them.
Yeah, and we got chatting, and then my dad out of nowhere just goes, oh, I went to Sunday school with the Bee Gees. Yeah. And there's an amazing video of you. Again, I'll have to find it. You just push back in just sheer appreciation.
Just applauded him.
Just well done. Yes, my dad went to Sunday school, would have been in the 50s with the Bee Gees because, he grew up and lived north side of Brisbane, so around the Northgate, Banyo, Nunda area. And, of course, they...
And he just said it like it was nothing, like it was
yeah.
no big deal. And we're all just like... What? You did what? What? Just lost our ever-loving minds that your dad's just sitting in Sunday school with the Bee Gees.
I just play with them. You know, did Billy Carts after Sunday school with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, just so good. And it was just on the tail of all these other stories.
Things.
And we're just like, who are you, Ellis Green? Who the heck are you? It was so good.
So that is my From the Pouch.
It's
the time we saw Paul McCartney and my dad just shocked us with...
Just casually drops it in.
Yeah, I went to Sunday school with the
Sunday
Bee Gees.
school with the Bee Gees.
From the Pouch.
Fantastic From the Pouch. So we're going from something fantastic straight into this, are we?
Yeah, we are. Now, and I was just going to say, look, nothing's dropped on you this time. You know exactly what's coming.
There's no hijacking, thank goodness.
I still haven't decided which one of these I want to tell.
I feel like this is part of it, though.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I promise you.
Okay.
Promise you. Just give me a second here.
A few moments later.
They're both bad, but also I'm just trying to think which one you'd appreciate the most. All right, we'll go with this one. How do you make Lady Gaga really angry?
I don't know.
Poker face.
Oh.
Nothing?
I don't know. Do I get the other one or do you need to save it now?
We can't do a double. Can we do a double?
We probably shouldn't. We're in
Well, we've said it
We're in
now.
enough trouble with this segment as it is.
The other one, I will do it. I was thinking the other day, like, does music ever make you wonder? Like, it definitely makes Stevie wonder.
Oh, gosh. We might just play those out.
And so everyone, when they get to hear this, they'll only hear one joke of the week, pun of the week, because we'll just cut one of them out.
God, does that mean we have to do it again at another time?
Okay. All right, Skippy Muir, I look forward to your glowing review
Kind reviews. Yes.
of that segment.
Yeah.
Until next week, I think I'm running, one every 3 weeks that gets you a little laugh?
Yeah. I did get a personal apology from Muir this week for last week's part of the week.
He's alive and well.
I got a don't hate me, please.
The part that I thought would have given it away is when I listened back to it, like once we launched it, was the most silly thing. Like I was like, "Oh, Willie Nelson died today," and you're like, "Oh, did he?" I'm like, "Yeah, he died." Like perfect. Now, another thing we're going to do just before we finish the episode is we got some good feedback again a number of weeks ago doing a segment called This or That. Not trademarked or anything like that. We don't have a sound or anything. But I've given you a this or that. You've given me a this or that. And I thought it's time for me to come back to you with a this or that. So we're going to finish with this tonight. And I've got just another 10 or so this or that's. As I said to you at the start, I've thought long and hard about some of them.
Okay.
The others are just completely random thoughts, just to see sort of where you're sitting. So we're going to kick straight off the bat, this or that.
Yep.
Hey Jude or Yesterday?
Hey Jude.
Okay. Me too. KFC or Red Rooster chips?
Ooh, Red Rooster.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. There seems to be more care taken.
Just a bit more crunchiness and the seasoning on it.
More consistency with the seasoning, I would say.
Just better care taken.
Yeah.
And probably you haven't needed to wait 14 years for them to be delivered out the window to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. We're 2 from 2 that we agree on.
Yeah, good. Friendship is intact.
Bit of a weird one here. Would you, this or that, would you rather have hands as feet or feet as hands?
Oh, gosh. I didn't know it was going to turn into would you rather.
Well, this or that. This being feet
I
as
think
hands.
hands as feet because I could at least hide them in shoes. And I'd get to use them. Like I'd learn just to use them.
Okay, so we've had a bit of a different there. I would go hands all round.
That's what I said. Hands as feet.
Hands as feet. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So
gotcha.
same.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I was going to say, what would you have feet on the end of your arms? I was like, wow.
Have you seen my feet? They're always in shoes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. 4 hands I would have. For
okay.
Sure. Yeah.
We're doing really well here. Okay.
Yeah.
Wicked or Rent?
Wicked.
Yep. Same.
Yeah.
Although I've only seen.
You haven't seen Rent live?
I haven't seen Rent live.
Oh,
no.
It's wonderful. It's one of the first musicals I
love
ever...
the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's one of the first musicals I ever saw live. I saw it in Brisbane and it was still one of the best things I've ever seen, but Wicked is my favourite of all time. Yeah.
Be able to, this or that, be able to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future?
Oh, that's weird.
It's a weird one when you think about it. Get deep.
I think 150 years because I don't want to know 10 minutes in front because I would just forever be doing it and I feel like it would ruin my day. Like if I could do it, I just feel like I would just forever I'd be bound to it. But 150 years would just kind of be interesting.
Yeah, because you'd be like, oh, those things are actually really important. I need to look at them.
Yeah.
I'm worrying about that. I don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't make a decision because, the little part of my brain would love the 10 minutes into the future.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it would be... It gets all weird. And this means nothing because then, like, you'd be changing your... Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
All right, moving right along. Would you rather be, this or that, chronically underdressed at everything you went to or chronically overdressed at everything you went to?
Oh, I feel like I already am chronically underdressed at everything I ever go to. And that makes me quite comfortable. So that's probably my answer.
That 50th part you played. Yeah. Okay,
that's right.
Perfect.
That's right.
I think I'd have to choose underdressed as well just because overdressed, I think you turn more heads
Yeah.
because I think the world's pretty casual.
I think so.
Or
yeah.
the world we live in is pretty casual.
It is. It sure is.
Okay. For every gig you perform at in the future, this or that,
Yep.
fall over at every gig,
Yep.
or just for one song, sing out a tune at every gig. Now, when you fall over every gig, this will be a from the pouch at some point.
I've fallen over at a number of gigs.
So it's kind of it's at a pinnacle moment where
Everyone sees it.
Everyone watches you.
And what was the alternative? Sing out of tune.
Is one song, is it just completely out of tune?
I'd have to do Fall Over.
I thought you would.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
of
can't
course would as
sing
well.
out of tune. That's
No.
terrible.
A couple more to go. Okay, would you rather... This is dumb. Would you rather... This is not anything. Would you rather walk to work in stilettos or drive to work in reverse?
How far's work?
Well, where's...
I work at home.
Where's your head office?
Sydney.
Okay. Let's say it was in Brisbane City. So what's that, 25k away?
Oh my gosh.
I said it's nothing.
You gotta make a choice. I mean, I guess drive in reverse.
Yeah, it would be painstakingly quicker.
Yeah,
Like,
I guess drive
are
in
awful.
reverse and just deal with everyone hating on me on the roads because I can't wear heels
Okay,
anymore.
this is a
I've got
deep-
the plantar fasciitis, Matt. I can't wear heels anymore. Ooh.
Okay, this is a deep one. Would you, this or that, solve world hunger or global warming?
I'm just trying to think if there's a way if one of them affects both of them. Because I feel like if we solve, I'm going to say global warming,
Okay.
because if we solve global warming, there would be less drought, which is what affects food security in a lot of the developing world. So I'm going to say
Good answer.
global warming.
I can't pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And finally, last one for today. Have a mullet for a year or a bald head for 6 months. You're not allowed to wear a wig.
Bald head for 6 months, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if you had to grow the hair back at the normal length?
What do you mean? Like just
So basically the 6 months, you don't just
bald.
get your hair back. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
6
yeah.
months.
I would still go
on
bald
day,
for sure.
The last day you still just got a clean shave.
Yeah,
and
and
the
then
growth
it's
starts.
just the fuzz back.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you could do that?
I couldn't do a mullet. There's some pretty cool woman mullets, I guess, that I just don't think I'm cool enough to pull it off. But I think I could pull off a bald head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't do the Katie Lang. Was it her that had the mullet? Mick. Okay. I would love to have a mullet. I don't think I'd ever be able to grow one. I'd be bald head as well.
Yeah.
And just grow it out. Okay,
Yeah.
that's this or that.
Ah, fantastic. Okay, that wasn't too painful. I think I excelled.
You did. You're just happy that I didn't give you anything that was like your two worst nightmares.
My worst nightmare. Yeah. Stilettos in reverse. I mean, they weren't worst nightmares. Just impossible choice, though.
And that brings us to the end of the episode. So just a quick question. What have you got coming up this week? Anything exciting? I mean, obviously a few calls to an insurance company. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll be hitting up some panel beaters. I'm going up the Sunshine Coast for a wedding this weekend.
Lovely.
So,
Family
yes.
member getting...
Yes, my
tying the knot?
cousin getting married. Very exciting. So I've got to pick out a frock for that. What about you? What are you up to?
What have I got this week? I am, as you know, I've mentioned it I think before on the pod, I love playing sport, terrible at it. I've got a game of golf Sunday morning.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, going to probably go and score 480.
How many balls are we going to sacrifice in the
Look,
pursuit
as I
of
said,
this?
it's all value for money. All
Balls.
value for money. I get my swings in.
Yeah.
So
Well, I look
yeah,
forward to
that's
your
happening
stats.
Sunday. We've had a busy couple of weeks as a family. The last couple of weekends being away, so I think this weekend is home.
Nice.
Just apart from the game of golf, because I've made it that because the Olympics are on.
Yep.
So yes, there'll be from Saturday morning. There'll be quite a lot of
Yeah, I'll be bunkering
TV time.
down this weekend too. I think aside from a wedding, getting into the Olympic spirit. Yeah.
So yes, thank you everybody for giving us your ears again and just listening to us waffle on with
Prattle about.
with different things and things that we think are funny and things that we know aren't funny but do them anyway. Part of the week. We'll be back next week with episode 11. Again, would love you to follow us on the channels. And if the other thing that can really help that helps share it out is if you can share our posts and just tell one person about the pod, that would, well, really, it's not hard math. That would double our listeners, wouldn't it? So we'd go from 5 to 10.
Complex math.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel. We put a video up, g'day, every week, so you can listen and watch if you so desire. And, of course, rating our pod. We've got some good 5-star reviews. I can't read any, but I know that I can just see that there's been so many
wonderful.
5-star
Thank you,
reviews.
Skippies.
So thank you so very much across the platforms there. Anything else to add?
No, looking forward to episode 11.
Episode 11. Will there be a surprise for episode 11?
What do you mean a surprise?
Oh, maybe it'll be a surprise for you.
Oh.
Okay, until next week. See you, folks.
Ciao.